Today, we are diving deep into the anatomy of a true legend, the undisputed king of the dinosaurs. We're going to go way beyond the roar and the reputation to really understand the perfect biological machine that was Tyrannosaurus Rex. We'll even find out why those famously tiny arms were actually far from useless, and how this ancient giant is, believe it or not, connected to the birds right outside your window.
You know, that quote really says it all, doesn't it? We aren't talking about just another animal here. We're talking about a creature that was practically engineered by nature for one thing: absolute domination. Every single part of its anatomy was a tool for survival and, well, for power.
So, to truly appreciate this animal, we have to travel way back in time. We're heading to the very, very end of the age of dinosaurs, the late Cretaceous. This was the world that T-Rex was born into, and it's the world it would eventually come to rule.
Okay, let's start with just the sheer scale of this thing. We're talking up to 13 meters long and weighing nearly 9 tons. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is longer than a school bus and heavier than an African elephant. It was truly one of the most powerful land animals to ever walk the planet. Now for the main event. Let's get to its most famous feature. If the T-Rex had one signature move, one undeniable argument in any conflict, it was its absolutely devastating bite. Just try to wrap your head around this number. Over 35,000 newtons of force. That's more than double the bite force of the strongest living reptile we have today, the saltwater crocodile. This isn't just biting. We're talking about sheer demolition. And what does that kind of power actually mean in a fight? It means this predator wasn't just slicing through flesh. No, it was pulverizing bone. It could literally shatter the skeletons of even heavily armored prey, like the incredibly formidable Triceratops. There was basically no defense against a bite like that. All right, let's address the elephant, or maybe the tiny armed theropod in the room. We've all seen the jokes, right? But science, it tells a very, very different story. This is the question everybody asks. How could such a terrifying, massive predator have such seemingly puny little arms? Were they just some kind of evolutionary afterthought? Well, the answer is a definitive no. So this completely reframes how we should see them. Far from being weak, fossil evidence actually shows these arms were incredibly muscular. Paleontologists think they were used to grip struggling prey, holding it steady for that bone-crushing bite. And they may have also acted as a brace to help this 9-ton animal push itself up from the ground. The bottom line is, they weren't useless. They were specialized. So we've got the brawn covered, but what about the brain? A perfect predator needs way more than just brute force. It needs sophisticated senses to find and track its prey. And let's bust another myth, this one made famous by Hollywood. The idea that you could escape a T-Rex by just standing perfectly still, that's pure fiction. The scientific reality is that its vision was exceptionally sharp, probably even better than a hawk's. And the reason its vision was so good is because T-Rex had forward-facing eyes, giving it binocular vision, just like we do. This provides incredible depth perception, which is absolutely critical for a hunter that needs to judge the distance to its next meal. And it wasn't just the eyes. T-Rex had a pretty large brain for a dinosaur of its size, which meant it could process all that sensory information really effectively. This thing wasn't just strong, it was a smart, calculating hunter at the absolute top of its food chain. But you see, the story of T-Rex doesn't just end with its extinction 66 million years ago. In fact, its legacy is all around us in a form you might never, ever expect. 66 million years ago, a catastrophic asteroid impact changed the world forever, wiping out almost all of the dinosaurs. But a single lineage survived. It adapted, and it flourished. And there you have it. That bird you see on the street, it's a living dinosaur. Modern birds are the direct descendants of theropod dinosaurs, just like T-Rex. That makes them the last surviving branch of that incredible family tree. So in a way, the king of the dinosaurs lives on. Now, I know this all sounds pretty incredible, right? And it leads to a very important question. How on earth do scientists piece together the life of an animal that's been extinct for over 66 million years? Well, it's a mix of old-fashioned fossil hunting and some seriously cutting-edge technology. After fossils are discovered, they're analyzed with tools like CT scanners to see inside the bones. Then biomechanical models test how they moved. And now even machine learning helps analyze huge amounts of data to uncover brand new insights.
And this isn't just theoretical stuff. This hands-on science happens every single day at world-renowned institutions. The American Museum of Natural History in New York, for example, is one of the major hubs for this kind of paleontological research. And the best part is, you can actually see the results of all this work for yourself. Halls like the Hall of Saurischian Dinosaurs house the actual skeletons that tell these incredible stories, connecting us directly to this ancient world. It's a chance to stand face to face with the king. So, what have we learned? We've replaced the old myths with a much more impressive reality. A predator with a bone-shattering bite, specialized and powerful arms, vision that could rival an eagle, and a surprising genetic legacy that literally flies among us today. The T-Rex will always be a symbol of ancient power and predatory perfection. Its story is this dramatic lesson in evolution, dominance, and the surprising ways that life always finds a way to endure. It really makes you wonder, what other secrets are still buried out there, just waiting to be discovered?